Statistics from Inec voter registration exercise have been progressively low since 1999 in southeast Nigeria. There seem to be varying reasons for lack of interest in the participation of youths in the electoral process within these parts. From Abia, Anambra, Imo, Ebonyi, and Enugu, the stories are similar. Agitation for self-determination prevalent in southeast Nigeria seem to be dimming any hope of bringing out youths of the region to register and be part of their civic responsibility. Is there a way forward to this? Can the youths of Southeast arise and be part of this process? This is the Eastern Eye. I'm Alex Obodo. You're welcome to the Eastern Eye here on Afia TV, a program that X-rays the political, social, and economic developments around us. Tonight, I am joined by Ọzọ Charlie Okwesili. Ọzọ Charlie Okwesili is a former head of news and current affairs, ESBS. That is Enugu State Broadcasting Service. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my dear viewer. Alex, thank you for inviting me.
I'm sure you're already aware that, again, the Southeast isn't doing fantastic with the early figures released for the voter registration, if you like, continuous voter registration, CVR. I mean, are you concerned about this?
Every sane person should be concerned. But if you trace back to time 60s, even 1958, when we were getting ready to become an independent nation, these people of Eastern Nigeria were everywhere in this country, even outside, and making waves in terms of economic pursuits. And the problem about we getting into the mainstream of government has been the problem. And if you look back the way the British people handed over administration of this country to a certain group, are you getting me? To a certain group, tribal group, it has been problem for the Igbo man. And when I mean Igbo man now, I'm talking about the eastern part of this country, as it were. And 1958, after the conference that led into independence of 1960, Chief Awolowo was there, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe of Africa was there, Ahmadu Bello was equally there, representing the major tribes we had. And there was this comment by Ahmadu Bello to himself, his brother friend, Dr. Zik. Now that it's all over, how do we get to share the booty? Meaning, how do we now allocate positions? Our dear Zik, having been interested in having a larger empire, could not let the Igbo man find his way in 1957 when we were ready for independence, like Ghana. We were to have independence at the same time with the Republic of Ghana. So he was looking at a very large, homogeneous Nigeria, where he would be the man to superintend. But it was not to be. And this man reminded him, you are an Igbo man. Our friend from the West is a Yoruba man. He himself is a Fulani. And then, this homogeneity between the Hausa and the Fulanis. That was when the picture came true. And then the war came, exacerbated the problem. So the Igbo man is not intrinsically interested in the centrality of the government of this country. Some of them who are very moving are doing it, not getting the fantastic support of the people. I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying. And that is the bane of the problem. If you remember that Zik couldn't become the president of this country, and then everything was being maneuvered, tilting towards the way the British people planned it, and then came the Civil War. I don't need to begin to tell you the story about this fool. But after the war, the divide between the East, the Igbo man, and the rest of the country appeared pathological, very highly ingratiated, that is engraved. So it has been the problem. The Igbo man is not looking at the government as part of what it owns. The Igbo man is on his lane, trying to make a living, And no tribe in this country has achieved as much as we did. And you remember that all the money, there was a time I wrote something in the Facebook about my late father. My father had 39,000 pounds before the war. And after the war, he took me his vehicle, went to Abakaliki and collected 20 pounds. When I wrote that, somebody who said he was managing my father's account replied and told me what my father had in Barclays Bank. 39,000 pounds. Would have bought a street at that time. So tell me, and the central government is not making the thing easy for us, for the Igbo man. They are not. It's all the way finding a way to make us remain apathetic to what they are doing. Therefore, getting registered to become a voter in Nigeria is important. And our youth who have begun to know the history are apathetic to it. I don't know whether I understand. It's happening in the registration or admission into the military, into the police, into the customs, and every other thing that government, institutions, government, central government has. And nobody is making any effort to be able to bring back the mind of the Igbo man to the centrality of governance. Check what is happening even at the National Assembly. When one state has 44 local governments, a state down here that's had a greater number of people have 17, 16, 13. You go to the riverine areas where a village becomes a state and they have 17 local governments. So the Igbo man, something has to be done to make the Igbo man feel belong to the center. And even look at what is happening now. Our people who have been in parties have been defecting in order to find a way to attach to the strings. Therefore, what is happening now regarding voter apathy is not, I can't say it's self-created, it's a state creation. The nature of governance created it as it is today.
I would like you to explain that, because there are a few things I would like you to unpack. First of all, before we get to the role of the state in that, you have hinted at what you would now refer to as marginalization being a reason for voter apathy.
It is number one.
But then, when there are complaints from here, you still blame the government. You didn't play any role in electing, if that's the case. Is that the best way to go about it?
It couldn't have been the best way, Alex. But I'm trying to tick up the natural path that has led into what we are seeing. We can think of other things. There is voter education that is not being well conducted. There is the average poverty, because people no longer, disillusionment, people no longer trust the government that is there. And the government is not helping either. The youths have been alienated. As I'm talking to you now in this country, there's no middle class. You know this. So as a man who is so frustrated, what do you want him to do? Are you getting me? So the issue is that I am not, in as much as I will blame our people. Okay, look at the dossier we had in 2023. Can you say that people didn't come out? In 2023, it was massively driven. Am I correct?
It was massively,
yes.
But the statistics also suggest in 2020, especially for the presidential election, it was about 25% of registered voters. 2 million people registered, but about 400,000 people voted to vote.
Yes.
Would you say that in a country where people are serious in affecting the process, that's right?
It is not correct. It is not right. But I am telling you that the indices for tuning up our minds has not been attacked. It is by the government. If you beat a child, don't expect him not to cry. Are you getting me? What the government should do is to find out the problem. Why are Igbos aiding their marginalization, so to say? Why are we aiding the marginalization we have talked about? The best way to do it is to make us belong. It's not going to help us, as a matter of fact. It's not going to help us. But you can't be saying one thing and doing another. Were we not promised the 3 R's? What was the current administration put up during the electioneering? If we had begun with the tempo that we were able to create in 2023, by now, Alex, there could have been a better change, positive change in terms of being part of the mainstream of voting and electioneering.
Okay. Let's now talk about whether votes count or not. Because at the end of the day, before any rigging takes place, it will require votes that are already cast.
I agree with you.
So votes count.
It does.
So why are people
not going to vote? I've named, there are economic reasons.
Yes.
There's a religious reason. There is this, what do I call it, cultural reason. There are, the INEC, as it was set up, have they really been doing their best? What amount of conviction have they given to our leaders, for our leaders to be able to ginger those of us who are not coming out to vote? What role has the religious leaders played? I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying.
But before you even talk about the religious leaders, what role has the political parties played? Have you heard any enlightenment message from any of the political parties in the Southeast? Yes,
because the parties are configured to ingratiate certain interests. If you think about the political parties that they are today, they are not basically to the bottom to touch the masses as they are today. They are individually driven. They are not institutionally, if it's institutionally, carved out, it has to run alongside the nationhood of Nigeria. Talk about NNPP, you know where they are. Talk about APGA, you know where they are. And these are people who have insisted that they must be done. They must be there to represent certain tribal interests. Are you talking about the PDP, which tries to be national? Alex, what is happening with PDP today? The party is non-existent. As it is, I'm talking to you now. And we are playing into a gallery, a legal gallery, which they will be until 2027. I don't know whether you understand. So the APC, which appears to be so much central and nationalistic, is individually driven. It doesn't have the core mandate, convinced core mandate of the people. So the powers of these political parties are individually driven. They are not institutionalized. So it's affecting us. In 2023, people came out because somebody they thought would have done well for this country was there. Those of our people or others who are really Nigerians outside the enclave of Igbo land equally understood that they had somebody who would have done well. But because of the non-nationalistic, the cleavage of what we do, it went the way it went. So what is the encouragement?
Ọzọ Charlie.
Yes, I'm listening to you.
Peter Obi isn't the only politician who tried to be president and did not win and believed that he won. Just allow me to think.
Okay.
Atiku Abubakar has tried to be president.
Yes.
No. Let's
I'm listening to you.
But I mean, in having national discussions, is it not necessary for Ndibo to also remember there are other people in Nigeria? Why does it have to be exclusive? Everything should be served on the table for the Igbo man. Is that the posturing? I'm saying because at the same time you want to be president.
Yes.
But at the same time you don't want to register to vote. At the same time you don't accept you are in Nigeria. So how do you think all this will connect?
If I understood you well.
Yes.
The disconnect arose from the story I told you initially.
Yeah, but no.
The Igbo man.
That point is clear.
Okay.
Because they're going around.
Yes.
For an election that is already done and dusted.
Yes.
There are people who've tried to be president of Nigeria.
And they are still trying. Twice. Yes, and they are still making efforts to be.
So, not succeeding in 2023, is it a death penalty?
Well, it all depends on the way you're saying it. I can answer your question based on the facts you have put forward. Atiku Abubakar has tried several times. Mr. Peter Obi has just done it once. The droplets from that election has not been cleaned off. The droplets from that election are still there. And it has been a topic for national discourse each day. I am not in support of the Igbo man abdicating from the entire system. I'm not in support of it. But what I'm saying is that those of them who are there, who are even non-Igbos, because our not being included in the hem of affairs is affecting the national income. It's affecting the welfare of the entire nation. I don't want to think about little things that arose from this marginalization. It's affecting everybody. If I were to be in the hem of affairs, we can pick up that 2014 confab paper, retable it, summon a national conference to review it, adopt it. Just imagine, was it not just today that our president is talking about signing the executive fiat on state policing. You heard it? These are regrets. These are things they should have done without being pushed. If the Igbo man is made to be in the center and share ideas with others, this thing would not have been so. Our people have no confidence in the authorities we have. And it has even gotten to the level of local government. It's not even the issue of a big presidency. They don't have any hope on any government. The confidence is not there. And the reasons are not far. You can see it. The reasons are there for you to see. So, if you make me belong, I will belong and contribute my ideas. So, what I think we should do as we are marching towards 2027 is to be liberal. Involve all the tribes. Even if it means taking a second look at the composition of the country as it is. Let me tell you, you cannot beat a child and ask him not to cry. Take your back your mind to the press interview or press conference granted by IBB a few months ago. All these matters that are segregational, that are making the Igbo man not to seem to be in line, was brought out and played up. Everybody saw it. It became an international matter. It's not been different. Why has Dr. Gowon not spoken alongside? As a child, I was in Holy Ghost College over. A president, a military president, was there, hosted by the people. An address was presented. He demanded for that and tore it. Demanded for that address and tore it. As a child, I was watching. I was in class 3. The 70s. And tore the paper before everybody. It's wrong. You are telling me that I don't belong. So what I'm trying to say is that in as much as we have tried and have not succeeded in being fully integrated, let us genuinely look at our leaders. They should talk to us. Because everybody cannot be in the government house at the same time. That's why we have them as representatives. Do you know that in National Assembly, if you don't belong to the majority, Natasha Akbuti, the honorable senator, said something like that. If you don't belong, you won't be given chance to move a motion. It's not true. If you move a motion successfully, they will not want somebody to support the motion, and they will know what to do because you don't belong to the party. Do you know that there's something they call presidential grace that comes in funding? If you don't belong to the party in the center, certain monies meant for your constituency projects may not be given to you at the same time. The orders are being delivered. This is what we have meant to understand from what that woman said. We're talking about a nation different from a country. We could have been a nation if we were, have the grip of being together.
But nothing.
I don't know whether you're getting the point I'm making.
But currently,
yes.
What is stopping the Southeast from realizing some of the things that it can realize without national assistance?
Yes.
I say this because I know there are things that are possible.
Yes.
Without national government's assistance.
Yes.
Why is it not happening? And one big question, I've asked this question to several of my guests.
Yes.
When was the last time the Southeast Governors Forum met?
Good. You're coming to the point. Alex, I have said it on the other side, when you were at the other side, on one of the radio programs. The best thing the 5 Southeastern governors should have done is to sit together. Forget the national aspirations about being that and that. Come together, form an economic bloc. We have everything here. The Igbo man has it all. If the 5 governors had come together and decided on economic leveling to toe, major instinct about going to belong shouldn't be there. Time will come when they want us to be there. What stops us from coming together? Have rail lines that goes around the 5 states. An airport was built here in Enugu. One went to about less than 50 kilometers and built another one. I don't know whether, when we don't have a seaport, if the governors could come together, they are the things that can make us become one. Dibo man, if we have a source from where the ships can come from, the sea into our area, the fight to remain over there will not be there. You build a house and somebody will come and demolish it, and nobody's addressing it. What kind of country is that? What do you want people to do? All our young men are wanting to go away, and it's not bothering the government. If our 5 governors could have come together, and they have now been officially and legally separated by way of the so-called political party, which we are not running. What we are playing in this country is not politics.
But what is...
Did you get the point I'm making?
Yes, but currently what you see is what is obtainable.
It's happening.
So the question is, how can the Southeast adapt for its own good?
The best way to do it is for the Southeastern governors, 5 of them, to come together. Forget about parties. Let our people talk to themselves. If the governors come together now, there can be a normal format to motivate young Nigerians. Let me tell you, we have the best productive ages among the youths. But you find out that between 18 and 24, those of them who are in that age bracket don't even care about your politics because they have been alienated already. The middle class would have been helping, is been abrogated. What kind of economic system? Alex, let me tell you, there are reasons why people shouldn't have so much hope in this government. Let me give you one typical example. You said, what should be the minimum wage? Some states say they are paying 80,000. Some say they are paying 70,000. Alex, at 80,000 naira per month, and you have 850,000 to pay for 1 year. 80,000 times 10 isn't 800, isn't it? Plus the other 2 months. Can it pay your house rent? And you're expected to have 4 children. You have elder ones in the village. A bag of rice, one month's salary can't buy it. So what are we talking? There's a thorough deviation from the true economic principles. You peg the economy, the power of the currency. You peg it. You peg what people earn on the basis of what the money can buy. You cannot surrender your currency to be floating in the market without political will. The political will is what will engineer the money to have weight. If you don't want to buy our money at this rate, forget it. Why must dollar remain the measuring target? I don't know whether you understand what that. You have not been able to do things right. Tell me what encourages somebody. One of my sons told me some time ago, it was a joke anyway. Daddy, you want to become a professor? That all these things we are doing is a scam. That tells you the mentality. And this is somebody who wants to engineer, let him go to House of Nation and House of Assembly where they will be fighting. They got the members of National House of Assembly, they can't talk to the governor. Did you see one man at Anambra State the other day, a member of the House? He was telling the whole world what is already known, which we didn't know it was existing in Anambra. It is so everywhere. Tell me the encouragement the youth are having to be part of government. You ask him to come and waste his time, queue up. After the voting, they will give the result to somebody they didn't vote for. It's so general. And Nigeria is known for that. Mind you, I didn't even talk about corruption as part of reasons why people are not voting. About 10 points. People don't go to waste their time voting. So why do you tell a boy who should be learning how to trade to forget it and come and queue up to register? You go there.
This is just where there's a big challenge.
The governors should come together.
Yeah, apart from the governors.
Yes.
One thing is to ask people to go and register.
Yes.
Another thing is for them to go. The youths of the Southeast seem to be a little adamant about this. We've done some reports. I think we have a report. I think it's from Abia State. I'm not quite sure now. I think it's from Abia State. I mean, if we have it, we're going to ask Bethany to call up that report. So we'll listen to it.
Okay.
So you just hear where they're asking young people why they haven't registered. And you would find that there isn't really a concrete reason. There's a clear lack of reason for them to register. Now, this thing is not even about whether they have misgivings about the process.
Yes.
Clearly, someone who's probably 18 or 19, some of them don't understand why they should even register. I don't know whether Bethany can get that. If it's
while Bethany looks for what you're talking about, Alex, when we were in school in the 60s, metamorphosing to 70s, we were taught civic education. We were told about principles and indices that what government is like. Are you getting me? You start to learn what are the civic responsibilities of a citizen. What qualifies you to be a citizen of a country? Then what obligations does the government have for you as a member of the nation? And do they teach us this? And they are watching. Their father being owed, your father who is working is being owed salaries. Your father who is working for government cannot afford to give you 3 square meals. Your father who is working is being chased about the landlords every day. He goes to market, the wife is always quarreling. Some people have become drunkards. They keep drinking, not good drink anyway. They buy cheap ones to be able to get intoxicated and forget about what's happening. Many people are dying. So if at the basic, people are educated. I talked about voter education. You remember that? It's not only talking about telling people to go and register and vote. Right. It starts from the cradles.
Okay. Yes. We will take a break here on the Eastern. And when we come back, we will get that report from Abia State. Stay with us.
In the 2023 presidential election, Abia State recorded just 381,683 votes out of over 2.1 million registered voters, a turnout of barely 18% that placed the state among the bottom 5 nationwide. Now, fresh figures from Inec suggest an even worse picture. After the first week of the ongoing registration, only 333 people registered in person, just 0.46%, while online registration stood at 1,845, a mere 0.07%. On the streets of Umuahia, many university students admit they have stayed away from the process.
Have you registered for your PVC?
No, sir.
What's holding you?
No reason, actually. I've not really considered doing it. No.
Why?
I'll get it before the next election.
No, I've not.
Why?
Because I don't want to. Your vote doesn't count. Whatever they want, whoever they want as their leader will always be the leader. The killings, the brutality, and the rest, I just don't want to experience it.
No.
Why?
Because I don't think it's important.
Okay, not yet. I will just find a way. I didn't know that it's on already. So since I know now, because the last time I knew it was on, I wasn't up to age as of then. So since I know it's on, I'll just look for a way and register for it.
Unfortunately, that's the situation on ground. The targeted demography seem not to care about this continuous voter registration exercise that is ongoing at the moment. But then, what is the role of the Independent National Electoral Commission in Abia State to sensitize the public on the need for adequate participation of the citizens in this civic exercise?
For 2 days, Inec in Abia has refused to comment. The head of voter education and publicity said he needed clearance from the resident electoral commissioner, who never responded. In the absence of Inec, this gentleman played his role.
You have to get your PVC because I believe it's one of the vital things you ought to do so that you become a full-fledged Nigerian, and whenever it's time to vote, you have to vote for your rights.
Everybody should try as much as possible to make sure they get their PVC, because that's the only way we can affect change. We are talking about change, we want to change the government, and that's the legitimate way of changing it, so that during the time of election we'll be able to vote and vote as they want us to be our leaders.
Everybody, so far you are above 18 years, should go to your various local government and register. Very important. Very, very, very important.
And when asked if they have their permanent voter cards, they responded this way.
Do you have your PVC?
Yes, I have it. Yes, I have my PVC.
Of course, I have my PVC.
With apathy deepening and Inec silent, the fear is clear. Abia may be heading towards another low turnout in 2027.
From Umuahia in Abia State, Emmanuel Wazwe reporting for Afia TV.
Emmanuel Wazwe for that report. That's our deputy chief correspondent, and he is in Umuahia. So one thing is clear.
Yes.
A lot of the youngsters don't know that this is going on.
That is it.
So one, INEC hasn't done enough to talk about it. National Orientation Agency, maybe they are still coming up with that. And various political parties who are supposed to be the major stakeholders,
driving the process,
to be looking for voters. We haven't seen them. And the politicians too. I've heard one or two announcements from one or two local government chairmen. But I mean, how do you think this should shape up?
Let us begin.
Between August 2025 and August 2026. That's how long it's supposed to last.
Let's begin to look at it. When I was harping on the issue of the governors coming together and deciding our dates, I was really meaning that they have access to the grassroots. Let me put it this way. When Rocha Sokorocha was in Imo State, he emphasized the importance of community councils. That is the touch, the grassroots. He emphasized and recognized them. When Mr. Peter Obi was in Anambra State, he was in touch with the community councils, the Igwes, and was even sending money directly to communities, supervising what they do with the monies. If this government has been very realistic, local government as it is today serves no purpose. Because you find out that I think they operate a parliamentary system. Governor is in charge of the local government. And what makes the state are the local government, isn't it? Then, the governor, since you give these people money to deliver the goods, have they been doing that? If you give them the money, have they really been doing that? What stops us, the governors, reaching the people? If you don't want to go to community level, you can go through the administrative centers. We have them. And these are the ones that, for Lagos, are being almost approved by the National Assembly to become local governments. The administrative centers. Are you getting me? The more you get closer to the people, the better time they are convinced that you are caring for them. You don't alienate people and they want them to participate. Tell me at this level, do you not that every year, budgets are made and monies assigned to these institutions like INEC, like NOA, and others? Why have they not started performing? Somebody going to say now that monies are not being released to them. Why is their monies not being released to them? If we are really wanting to run a nation state, these are institutions. And you keep these things to the hands of individuals and they are driving it. In some areas, people are donating millions of naira to make sure people enroll into the voter register and they annex the cards. And we need to blame them because you have created that avenue for that. Remember what happened sometime in 2023? Millions of cards were being seen in the bushes and that kind. We are creating the problem. Government should look inwards. What are the Igwes, the PGs, what are they doing? Integrate them into the system. Assign roles to them. Even if it's not so in the national constitution, the state should be able to take up this particular thing. That is why people are not feeling it. If these people are given the roles, all schools will be reached. All schools will be reached because all those people in the university are adults. If you read that, somebody is saying that he or she doesn't know the program is going on almost 2 weeks after. So I blame the governors of Southeast. Forget our aspiration to become the president and all that. Come, bring your people together. They should meet. Ndibo. We have a character. If you convince us for anything, and you bully easy. So what I'm saying is that the governors should think again. We are shooting ourselves on the foot. It is better we come together and address the problems we have as a cultural group. That is the problem. So we are just playing to the gallery. So we should call our people to order, involve them at that basic grassroots level, so that people can enjoy the administration of the state, as it were.
All right, development of the states. At the end of the day, the same information is power.
Yes, information breeds knowledge, and knowledge becomes power.
Yes. So at the end of the day, something needs to be done.
Yes.
And how fast do you think we need to do that?
The issue is that these things that you see playing out are created by these people in leadership. That people are not getting the information to go and register. It's to their own advantage. I don't know whether I understand what I'm saying. It is planned.
How is it to their
No, it's scientifically planned. Politics is mathematics. It's worked out on paper and it's beginning to work out. If people are not registering, it's even good for them. It's even good for them. But when we get an election, they have more results. Don't you know? Are you surprised that if this government can decide to do away with PVCs, even though it's possible, they can decide to do away with PVCs and ask you to go to where you want to vote. Then you get there, they'll ask you to put your thumbnail here, and then you can vote. There's nothing that is impossible in this country. If we cannot drive our economy the way it should be, there's nothing impossible. These people in the leadership of this country are the people holding us the way we are today. They are. They know what they are doing. Why can't a National Orientation Agency begin since to advertise this program that is on regarding voter registration? And by the way, why must we have a season for the registered voters? It should be an ongoing thing. You come back from abroad, you need to get to register. You can register. They are doing it online now. How perfect is that? If I ask people now, they will tell there are glitches. You can't get you tune in to do it, it won't go through. So what I'm trying to say is that if the government wants to help the people and make them belong, don't alienate them by creating policies that are too flawed. Open up the channel for people to participate. A participatory government is that which listens to the people and acts in accordance with thoughts and minds of the people. I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying. The government is not helping matters. Our governors should come down, discuss with our traditional rulers and PGs, involve them in governance. Reach the grassroots, talk to the communities, community council. We had it in 1963, after the war, when we became a republic. Taxes were being gotten through their helps. Why have we started? Why are we playing this kind of game now? So involve them, assign roles to people in the villages, and they will do it perfectly.
Now that you've talked about assigning roles to people in the villages,
yes,
what comes to mind is the traditional rulers.
The PGs, as the administrators, yes.
And the PGs.
Yes.
Do you think, and again, the faith-based organizations,
yes,
churches and
they are going to work. They are going to work together.
How do you think this will work? Because, well, granted, the CVR just started. It started in August 25th. And people are believing that maybe that these are just early days. But that's how it starts.
Yes.
And maybe what you'll start seeing by next year, when it comes to July,
you see the rush.
People will start rushing.
Yes.
And they start asking.
It's our style.
They start asking government.
Blaming the government, yes.
That, people were busy. People were busy looking for what they would.
The usual complaints, yes.
They didn't have time to go and register.
Yes.
I mean, now is the time, isn't it? When
it is.
You don't have to queue to waste your time.
That's what I'm saying. As far as the typical Nigerian is concerned today, he doesn't feel he's part of the governance. Are you getting me? If the government can agree with what I'm suggesting, summon people who own this grassroots, summon them, get them involved. They are going to call their people wherever they are. They are going to decentralize this policy of registration and it will start working. I mean, you cannot attune yourself to what you don't know. You cannot belong to what is alienating you. In mass communication, we teach. If you want somebody to believe in you, we'll talk about believability. When somebody you know is being used in adverts, you cannot tell lies. Isn't it? You build the brand loyalty through that. The people you know, and believability is supreme. You don't believe what you don't know. If they use somebody you know to get to advertise the product, certainly you go for it. You go for it because you know the person can't tell you lies. So this country now, the way we are doing it, and we have a different cultural background. In the north, they have their feudalistic system. When the emir says it, he has said it has been said. When the Oba says it, it has been said. But we know we are libertarians. Here we live. Everybody is on his own. We are so-called Republicans. Are you getting me? You need to convince me to go and devote my time to vote. And why must I vote for that man? What one has he been? What pedigree does he have? The Igbo man will ask that kind of question. So unless we break it down, bring this system down, let it belong to the people, let them own it. That's the only way things will work. That's the only way to work. Even using the market spaces. Use the market spaces and talk to them. Appoint those people who are known to the people to be part of the machineries to drive these policies, and it will start working. If I start talking now, people will say I don't like. There are things. Alexa, there are things happening. Oh my God.
Ọzọ Charlie Okwesili. But at the end of the day,
yes,
it is possible to get our people to register.
It is, if they do it like I'm saying. Let it be a program for the people.
But is it also time for our people to wake up? And
no, you cannot wake up.
And not always expect that whatever it is,
you can
just
yes, I'm listening to
you. Whatever they think they deserve will be served to them a la carte. They have to work out their salvation.
No, you're thinking that things should be served unto you, that way won't work. But what I'm saying is that if you get me convinced that you're working for me, I will convince my children. My children will convince their relatives, and all of us will become a pack. And they move on. As I'm talking to you now, this government is alienating the people. In all spheres, this government is not taking care of the people as it should be. I can give you certain instances now.
You know, we've been hearing about this. I mean, almost all governments in Nigeria, people have said basically the same thing, right? From 1999.
Yes.
Just to use a recent timeline.
Yes.
So nothing new is in the rhetorics.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, we have to start afresh. You cannot continue to make the same mistake and then expect to get a positive answer. This thing has been, it don't damage, we say it don't damage you. Let us go back and sit down with the people and decide, what do you want us to do? Our governors should forget about pursuit for higher positions. Those of them you have sent to be representatives there, are they really given the opportunity to do what they want to do? They cannot. They don't have the population. They don't even have the money. If it's by will, were you not there when somebody said they pay money to be able to move emotion? You read it. These are the things. But let us come back and discuss with our people. If they don't want us to talk about the center, can I discuss? So let us think about what to do to be part of this particular country. We can do on our own without agitation, without formal separation. Let us plan our own, and the Igbo man knows when he is convinced, he gets involved. When the Igbo man says yes, and don't worry, look, let me tell you, people think that Igbo people are stupid. We're not. People think we are quarreling. We are one. When we see the people, right people, you will see people galvanize and come together and forge ahead. As far as I'm concerned, this particular operation that is going on now, like you did say, there's going to be a mad rush towards the end of this registration exercise. There's going to be a rush. But what do we do as ownership, ready ownership of this particular program? Because it has to do with our future. It has to do with the bargaining power you have is population of voters. That's the bargaining power, universally. What is happening about us is universal. Even in Britain, there have been depreciation of voters, say some 6-7 years ago, from 69%, it came up to 74% again. There was a time, and in some locations in this country, we had 13% of voters coming up to vote because they think they don't belong. Are you getting me? It's something the Igbo man should be made to be part of it, and our governors and our leaders should come together and decide on what to do. We are leading, even without government. So what about having a little impetus to give us more leverage? It's possible. It's possible.
And on that note, I have to thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Charlie Okwesili. He's a communications scholar and former head of news and current affairs. ESBS, that's Enugu State Broadcasting Service. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Alex, for having me. Thank you, my dear viewer, and good night.
That's the Eastern Eye for tonight. We'll be here tomorrow, same time, for another edition of the program. My name is Alex Obodo. Good night.